2 trailers ago, we saw a situation command that read Rage Form, but whoever it was at Square Enix that played the game for the trailer didn't activate the command. So we all kind of wondered, what is this new Rage Form? Well, in the latest trailer, we finally got to see it in action. So today I thought I would go over what we did get to see and analyze what this form is and how it could possibly work. In that latest trailer where we finally got to see Rage Form, we noticed something very familiar. It looks just like Anti-Form, but with a Keyblade. This is actually pretty important, since the whole point of Anti-Form was not having a Keyblade as a punishment for abusing drive forms, and is not triggered by choice. I mean, knowing how Anti-Form works, you can do things to make it so that you never trigger it, but it's really annoying and hard to keep track of. This leads us, or at least me, to believe that Rage Form won't be as punishing. As we saw in the first trailer, Rage Form doesn't happen the same way Anti-Form does, where Anti-Form happens when trying to use a different form, and there is no option to purposefully trigger it, outside of the 2 become 1 Keyblade, which after obtaining Final Form with that Keyblade, its only real use is to trigger Anti-Form, or to try to trigger Anti-Form. It seems that Rage Form will be a form that you can choose to go into, but don't have to. Or do you? But we just saw that it's a situation command. Just don't press it. Right? Well, what if it's the only form that comes up? Let's say, just like Kingdom Hearts 2, you overuse the other forms. What if Rage Form is now the only option that pops up, and the only way to make it go away is the same way that you do in Kingdom Hearts 2? In Kingdom Hearts 2, Anti-Form's trigger will go away if you do one of these actions. Trigger the form and let the drive bar run out and revert back to normal, which reduces an invisible anti-point counter by 5. Use Final Form, which reduces the point counter by 10, or obtaining a new drive form, which resets the counter to 0. So it's possible that the Rage Form command could be the only one that shows up until you either trigger it, obtain one of the other forms in the game, or if this game has a form that does similar to Final Form, where just using the form makes it so that the Rage Form command won't show up for a while. So in this theory, the Rage Form command would show up instead of any of the other forms, and no other form command will appear until you do something that makes the Rage Form command go away. So if you don't have any ways to make it go away other than triggering it, similar to early on in Kingdom Hearts 2 where you only have 1 or 2 forms and no way to make Anti-Form go away outside of triggering it, you wouldn't have a choice other than Rage Form as a punishment because you overuse the form mechanic. Okay, so what? Don't you see? Unlike Anti-Form, Rage Form has a Keyblade that is much better. Well, yes, that's true, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. If it's anything like Anti-Form, you likely won't be able to use any items to heal, use magic, or any of your links. And you may actually take twice as much damage, which I believe Anti-Form is twice as much damage taken to you, and you do less damage to enemies. I'm not 100% on that though. We can clearly see that Rage Form makes you extremely fast, just like Anti-Form. But that's also a drawback. There's a reason that Anti-Form was so fast. Moving that fast can be a very bad thing. Some enemies can attack you in the middle of a combo, so because the combos in Anti-Form were so fast, but each singular attack took longer to execute, it gave the enemy the advantage and they could easily counter you and if strong enough, wipe you out in a single combo. I mentioned not being able to use magic, items, or links. The clip we got is pretty short, but slowing it down, you can see that the command menu, which in Japanese says from top to bottom, Tatakau, which is fight, which for the English version it just says attack, Maho, which is magic in Japanese, and then the next 2 are in katakana, which is the Japanese alphabet that's used for foreign words, so they would be pronounced basically the way we pronounce them, but in a Japanese accent. They say item and link. Notice how the bottom 3 are dimmed, and only the one where we would have attack is highlighted. This usually indicates that you can't use whatever command is grayed out and dimmed. Similar to how you couldn't use drive forms in the Olympus Coliseum Underworld, and the command for drives was dimmed. So in this case, magic, item, and link are all dimmed, indicating that you are not allowed to use these commands while in Rage Form. This is the exact same thing as Kingdom Hearts 2. You can't use magic items or summons, which are basically what the links are, while in Anti-Form. So far, this is everything I can really say about it. Since it's very similar to Anti-Form so far, it's almost certain it's gonna be basically the same thing, other than the fact that you can know when you're going to trigger it, rather than like Kingdom Hearts 2, where if you didn't do the near impossible and keep track of the anti-points, you would just have no idea when it was gonna happen. In this case, it literally tells you on screen. Anyway, that's basically what I think Rage Form is going to be. What do you think it is? Do you agree with me? Do you have a different opinion or different theory? Regardless, let me know in the comments. If you like this video and want to see more Kingdom Hearts topics, give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified every time I upload. See ya!